Hotel, lobby. Receptionist, what now? 11 a.m. Check out. Might give her one foul just to tell her it's one now. How come? I need rest, no recess in my schedule. Right. Mama used to serve vegetables, now half the meals got tentacles. Right. Half the Emirates need a reservation and half my money goes straight to taxes. But I don't trip about it, that's what happens when you got dreams closer than a matching. Plus all your boys got expensive habits. Go. I know what they're thinking, they don't even gotta say it. Nope. They thinking they just made it. I know how to make everybody feel famous. I don't gotta work no day shift. I don't gotta split no payment. I don't gotta answer questions. Right. And I don't need you to okay it. Yeah. Okay.
I'm the coach. You're locked into the...
Okay, Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Southern California and the newly named Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Houston Texans and the Los Angeles Chargers. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Chargers' all-time passing leader, Phillip Rivers, who's been their starter since 2006, trotting onto the field. And I'll tell you what, he may be just a couple of years from 40, but he can still do it. You look back to 2018, some people were whispering MVP and Rivers in the same breath with what he did in that campaign. Especially impressive in 2 December primetime victories, one against the Steelers, one against the division rival Chiefs. And although things ended not quite how they wanted in the playoffs to New England, Phillip Rivers still feels like he has a lot left in the tank. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Melvin Gordon, the 2-time Pro Bowler, and he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20. And the offensive starters here for Los Angeles.
If you're going to talk about great players with the Chargers, you have to include their center, Mike Pouncey, a 4-time Pro Bowler. He and his brother Marquise with the Pittsburgh Steelers. They were the Pro Bowl centers for the AFC in 2018.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
This is taken at about the 14. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. Here's Watson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. The receiving numbers for Hopkins a week ago. Comfortably up over 100 yards when cruising past that number, and 2 touchdowns.
How'd you like to be the D coordinator this week? He watched that game last week, and I know his first thought was, we have to find a way to take him out of the game plan. We cannot let him do that to us.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Now, look, that wasn't a huge game, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 more.
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Texans have taken the early lead. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
This is taken at his 4. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
A second down throw for Rivers. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
As this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completion.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
A well-executed 22-yard gain. A nice little completion there by Phillip Rivers. And you and I were reading the article yesterday, 5th grade. Rivers had to do a project where he had to make a poster about his dreams and aspirations. So he clipped out a football player from a magazine article and pasted his face on the helmet. That's what he wanted to be, and it turned out okay.
Not so bad. Not so bad at all. Remember, he's the son of a coach. And on that play, I think he made the old coach proud with that completion.
The numbers a week ago from Melvin Gordon. 15 carries, 59 yards. They're able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
And they love what they've got in him. He's the number 4 rusher in the league right now, so you know that you have to account for him on defense, which means you can play complementary football as well. Throw the play action, get it out to the wide receivers, because they should have some open space because the defense will key on them.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. The Chargers, a team that's really been plagued by poor field goal kicking the last decade or so, but I think they feel they've solved their problems with Badgley.
I would say so. He went 15 for 16 in 10 games last season, undrafted out of Miami. And remember, he had 5 field goals in the playoffs against the Baltimore Ravens.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 22 yards there, a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Now on 2nd and 13, Watson. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. Jumpy on the right side of the line.
Sometimes when you're on the end, a little bit farther away from the ball, any type of movement will get you to jump, and that's exactly what happened there.
It's complete right side to Benjamin. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time. I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Now Gordon on first down. J.J. Watt, the one that gets him down.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not going to have much success against him and his team.
Or, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not, because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player, as well as a physical specimen. Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
A first red zone opportunity here for the Chargers. They've got a first and goal from the 10-yard line. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to third and goal.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Badgley's kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Set to take over again, Deshaun Watson and this Texans offense. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Well, CD, a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast, the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
On 2nd and 10, Watson, and he comes back with one complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 12 yards there and a first down. first down carry now for Miller. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Right, we get slap happy up here sometimes. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
He's thrown one interception already, and that doesn't necessarily mean the rest of the game is going to go like that. But it does seem that he's a little bit off in his approach to this one.
Yeah, it does, and that was a risky throw right there.
Got to be careful about taking care of the ball, making sure you get back within yourself. I mean, there's mechanics that they work on all the time. They're there for a reason. Kind of get back to those and maybe tamp it down a little bit. Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Fourth down, so the Texans dial up the number of their second-year punter, Trevor Daniel. Travis Benjamin, deep for the Chargers. Melvin Gordon and the Chargers ready for their next possession. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about him.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
Here's Rivers to Gordon out left. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first.
Here we go.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Set 180! Set 180! Here we go! Here we go! Got it hot!
From the red zone now, Rivers. And right side, Henry's got it. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They'll throw again, Rivers. And this is complete. It's Allen. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. A third field goal of the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. Rivers again. He finds his receiver, Williams, for a Charger touchdown. Mike Williams, as the first half is winding down, and the Chargers have taken the lead.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Marty looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
It's a short kick, taken at the 15. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Final 12 seconds of the half now as they've got it 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Watson. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it and picked up by the Chargers. And he will score. Touchdown, LA. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This one taken from the 7.
We got this.
So we've reached the intermission and what right now is and we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the third quarter. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. A reminder, coming up later tonight, a lot of buzz about this game. The Browns, they've been doing some travel. Back-to-back primetime games for them. Monday night they were in New York. Now the Browns head to Los Angeles to take on the NFC champs, Browns and Rams, an 8:20 kickoff Eastern time, 5:20 in California. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. That catch, by the way, number 542 in his NFL career. That draws him level with Lance Allworth, who was a Hall of Famer with the Chargers back in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, the man they call Bambi. So if you're in that type of territory, catch the same number of passes he caught, you know you're on your way to a big-time career. And just think, he's not through yet.
From the 41, Watson. And this is caught by Fells, right side. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Now it's Watson, and that's off the mark, incomplete.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. Setting up the screen for Miller. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller, his second touchdown on the season. And the Texans have cut it to within a score. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get this score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack.
That's what I'm talking about.
Well, it was second long, now it's third and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
And the penalty helps, but not a whole lot. It's still third and long. Play fake to Gordon. Now Rivers. Now a hit, and Rivers lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, the teammate is able to come up with the ball.
It'll be a 48-yard punt. 5 there on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And a look now at Lamar Miller. We've seen him be good so far. He's hoping to continue that trend here in quarter number 3.
And typically when you see guys running it this well, they see the game in slow motion, don't they? They see the cuts happen, they see the blocks happen, they feel really good about their vision, and then they use their legs to find that open space.
And he's had some good help up front to boot. And now the throw going to Fuller, and he's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag. Because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
He's got some space. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Watson, and this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Now they go screen. It's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, he strung it out as far as he could, and I like the fact that he kept his eyes downfield, but he finally ran out of time and room. But I'll take that over forcing it downfield and possibly having it.
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Texans are an extra point away from taking the lead.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
So out come the Chargers. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
The punter lock out there now as he sends it away. Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. From the gun, here's Watson. He's got Fuller. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Back now at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. And we've got a dandy here, a 1-point game as we begin the 4th. We saw a number of good games earlier today, and this one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Derwin James, an all-pro as a rookie last year, up from his safety spot to make the tackle. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Well, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Throwing on third down, Watson. He finds his target, Fuller. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. And a quick slant gets exactly 10, and by the nose of the football, they've got a first down. A much better effort we're seeing from him under center this week versus last week when he threw 4 picks.
He has thrown the 1 in this game, but you're right. When you cut it down from 4 the previous week, and we always talk about adjustments, well, he made some in practice, and he continues to work on it during the game. I'm sure he's getting plenty of reminders about how to stay in the moment, stay focused on the task.
And he's got him in the driver's seat here in the fourth quarter. Watson's throw pulled in by Hopkins, and he's taken down inside the 30. 16 yards, a first down. He's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 11 yards there, first down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Deshaun Watson, 4 touchdown passes now in the ball game. And the Texans will add on to their lead.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. This is taken at his 4. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays for one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
A first down throw here for Rivers. He completes it to Henry. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game. Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal, don't necessarily need a touchdown. To throw again on second down. Rivers. And Henry's hit. He lost the football. And the Texans scoop it. There he goes, right side. And they will bring this one back. A fumble return for a Texans touchdown. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. And that's what they've done all game long.
Fairbairn good with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And the Chargers coming out of the field now. So Rivers will lead the Chargers out 1st and 10 right at the 30. Rivers to throw it. And off the deflection, it's caught. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's second down.
Now that's a defensive coordinator's nightmare right there. You're covering everyone, and the guy's not even the intended receiver ends up making the play.
Right place, right time, I guess.
When that ball's tipped up in the air like that, you've got to go up and get it. Offense and defense, and in this case, the offense ended up grabbing it.
Something of a rare incompletion. Remember, Charles, last week under 50% throwing the football. That's what he was, but he has turned that around in this game.
But last week was commonly known as a fluke. For him to be under 50%, not normal, not the usual. But to be up over 80%, that's extra time in practice, and that's throwing with extra confidence as well.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Rivers on the money, complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 17 yards for the Chargers there as they've got themselves a 1st down. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did. That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Rivers now looking end zone, but it's incomplete. That one doesn't find its target, but all in all, he's been much sharper this week. He was under 50% a week ago, and now he's up over 70%.
Well, you know it's standard for quarterbacks and receivers get together for a little extra time each and every day in practice. I get the sense they got together for a lot of extra time this week to try and improve that passing percentage, and it's worked out quite well.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield as it turned out. Couldn't even find his outlet man because...
And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like... Yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
So they've accomplished half the mission, Charles. They get the onside kick. They do need a touchdown here, but they've got some time to do it.
In the excitement, there's no need to press. Plenty of time. They have the opportunity. Now they just need to execute and finalize things.
Chargers in good field position to start out. 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Throws left side, complete to Keenan Allen. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. Back to throw. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football.
Oh, no, he lost the football. Down to 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Well, Charles, exciting to the very end. That's what we just saw in this game. Final play there, had it in the red zone, but anytime you're outside of the 10, that's tough. Trying to draw up a final play to get in, and they couldn't do it.
It certainly is. So what they were looking for was, extra time. Too bad it's not FIFA soccer, right, where you get a little bit of extra and you get a chance to run a couple more plays and maybe get closer and take that last shot into the end zone.
So for the Texans, they're into the win column now as they move to 1-2 on the young season. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the home team here, they suffered defeat for the first time as they dropped to 2-1. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head down to Miami to take on the Dolphins. So for Charles...
Big numbers, 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this is Jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad beat presto. If you wanna go, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see more Desto. Hit your thought, I'ma catch those. Mexican, dummy pesos. Hit your sauce, I'll replace those. Number save, no name though. We need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, like I'm keeping score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, while I point to God.
Big numbers, 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number.
Yeah, wrist man, check the wrist man, got him hot. Hey, man can't ball like this, man. Lord, past the pig skin when he stretch a distance. I'm talking a few 100,000 yards, you just on your 5th grand. Run it up, count it up. Hey, 100s and 50s and 20s, no 5s and no singles, don't count on them. Hey, she wanted like me cause her like she can count on him. She tried to be nosy and hit her max, she like, girl, you can count on him.
Hey, we need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board like I'm keeping score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, while I point to God. Big numbers, 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, whole team counted, that's a big number.